All right, folks, you should be hearing me right about now. I had to drive to an area where I could get a better signal. So I'm parked here in a local park. All right, so I want to talk briefly, and I promise you it will be brief because I got to go take a look at this Hellcat. Guy's coming down $2,500. I'm trying to get more than that off and a cut on the additional fees they like to tag on when you buy it, but that's not what I'm here for today. So obviously, we had analysis given on Friday, and this is kind of like part of the video that would otherwise like make people roll their eyes and oh, this guy, he brags. It's not bragging, okay, but to get it out of me today and not include it in tonight's review, which will allow it to be a little bit quicker too. I'm going to talk a little bit about this here, which is how I teach, how I get my students to learn how to trust themselves, and how I lend my experience. So this morning, I shared with you what my expectations were for S&P. Now, if you go back and look at the tweet, first glance, it's going to look ambiguous. It's going to be up or down. It's not up or down. Okay. The chart is showing you all the discount arrays, the low on the day, the fair value gap that's below equilibrium of the range I've actually highlighted. And I showed you the fair value gap I was watching, which was the initial one, which in my mind was a little bit too early on a day that doesn't have a whole lot of news. And 8:30 was kind of quiet. So I said in the tweet, I said, I would, dig it higher. I would run one more time higher. And then, that's where I'm looking for down there, those discount arrays. If I was looking for something north, I would have told you where I'm looking for it. The chart shows exactly what the framework is. Now, if you're coming to me without any experience with me at all, it's going to be frustrating if you're here to try to get me to give you a trade signal, a setup, buy here, sell here, stop here, target here, partials here. I don't do that, folks. I don't do that for the people that actually paid me. Okay. I don't do signal services. Now, I could, obviously, you can see that I'm capable of doing that, but why will I refrain from doing it? I want you to understand this. Okay. I've had a lot of people come to me through my private group, and a lot of them paid to learn this skill set. I promised them, just like I'm promising them again publicly, I will not operate a signal service because there's a lot of my students that are actually doing it. They're operating signal services. And do I have a problem with that? Absolutely not. Nope, I don't have any problem with it at all. And it would be a really shitty move for me to go out here and start doing that and take any interest away from any of my students being able to do that as a business. Now, you might look at that and frown and say, well, I'd rather have you do it than them. I have some really good students, folks. And believe me, if they're not going to get out there and offer their signal service, which I'm telling you, it's their signals because I don't provide it for them. In my private group, I'm not sitting down and saying, okay, guys, here's what we're doing. Pull out your decoder rings. Everybody raise them in the air. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're all in attendance now. We're all going to buy here. And we're all going to put our stop loss here. And our partials are going to be here. And our targets are going to be here. There it is. Go. That's not what this is. Okay. The ICT way of learning is the school of hard knocks. You're going to get frustrated. And I do that for a reason. Because if you're lazy, if you're weak-minded, okay, if you are impatient, you're going to call me a piece of shit, a fraud, a con artist, and quit. Good day. See you later. I'm still doing what I'm doing. You won't be doing what I'm doing. And the folks that look past all that and say, you know what? I'm going to work with what he's given me, and we're going to see what we see. Those are the individuals that stuck with it. Now, today I gave you kind of like the 2016 version of what I was doing, sitting down with the private group in my daily sessions. I would outline something. I would point to something. I didn't have it drawn up on the chart like I was giving it to you, but I would talk about where I felt it was likely to go. Now, what am I doing there? I'm lending you my experience. This is where bias is framed. So the framework is what we're talking about here today. Now, there's two views. The uninitiated, the people that have no experience with me, how I teach, they look at that and think it's incomplete or it's two sides. He calls both sides of the marketplace. No, let me walk you through it, okay? Because I already blocked some goober this morning that said I called it both ways. There's no fucking way I called that both ways. There's no way that that's both ways. And the tweet's right there. This is what you don't understand. If you think that way, if you felt that way, understand this. This is how you go forward with me. And at least you'll have the better understanding and clarity as to what you're supposed to be doing. If I'm annotating a chart, okay, if I'm showing you something that's below the market price, in other words, at the time of the tweet, if I'm showing or if I'm referring to a price level that's below market price, that is me saying to you, I believe me, not that you should, I believe that the bias for that particular session, unless I say for the day, for that session would be bearish. Now, I'm interested and my attention was on that fair value gap that I showed in the tweet. That's my interest. Now, after I tweet, I have to make a decision just like you do. I'm not getting in a move, as you'll see. There was a real execution. It was demo, just so you guys know. You'll see it's a demo channel. It was a trade that was not with real money. But it's Monday. There's no news. I'm trying to get a feel for it. Exactly what I said in the tweet. I'm trying to get closer to price action because I don't see anything in the economic calendar that has me, convinced one way or the other. But based on what I was showing you in the tweet this morning, my bias was bearish. Clearly, everything in the chart was annotated below market price. Now, what did I mean by if it were me, I would rip it higher? Now, what I'm saying there is I'd like to see it run one more time, make a higher high to upset anybody else that wants to get in early and then come back to that same fair value gap that I was annotating in the chart. That's what I meant. Now, my students understand that because we'll use a fair value gap again. Now, for folks that think they know fair value gaps because they watched me or they learned from somebody else parroting what I've taught, they won't see it that way. So there's two views. There's the initiated, the people that understand what I'm doing, and they understand where I'm pointing. Okay? I do this, I'm telling you, I have real students that are in the Twitter audience, and they're constantly coming in saying to people that will chime in because they're frustrated. Oh, but sir, you said this and this and this. Look, man, you're not paying attention to the most important things. The most salient things are in that chart that I tweeted. And where did price go? There, and went lower. Now, did I think this morning it was going to overshoot that fair value gap? Admittedly, no, I didn't think it was going to do that. I thought this afternoon it could have done it. But I don't know. Every time I put something out now, it just seems like it's like a ravenous pack of wolves jumped all over it and it starts to run, which I find interesting. But I engaged the second fair value gap. Okay. There was a gentleman that tweeted saying that I really didn't say a sell or a buy, so I really didn't call the market. Again, listen to what I'm saying here. And if you look at what goes on, how I teach, that's what I'm doing. I'm pointing downrange. Okay, that might be above the marketplace or down below the marketplace. And today, there was no chart pointing to anything higher. Did I even give a level above market price? No. No. I am not pulling things out of thin air. I'm giving you a logic to focus on. One setup this morning, but if the setup doesn't form an entry, then there's nothing for us to do, period. Some of you actually entered on that fair value gap and you've proven it by tweeting it to me. After I started talking about and shared my thoughts about the marketplace, and here's my framework, here's what I'm paying attention, here's my attention right now. So I'm tipping my hand to you. And to be honest with you, this is going to sound arrogant, but you should be fucking glad I'm doing that because I hold this stuff back for a reason. There's a lot of little assholes out there that run around creating little mentorships, parroting everything I say, never crediting anything. They didn't go through the bullshit that I had to go through to learn this. And it makes them look superhuman because they're calling out things and referring to things that I'm doing. And that's why I wait till the last minute, because I've learned that there's a dozen of them, at least that I know of, that are in my mentorship. And I'm trying to find out which user group they're in, and so I can remove them just to take their meal ticket away. So I understand that there's going to be audience members that come to me and they're going to look at what I'm doing and it's going to feel like, well, he's really not doing anything, when in fact I'm doing a whole lot. It's just you want me to sit down with you and say, okay, I'm concerned about you believing that I can do this. I'm so concerned that I'm going to lose sleep over this. And I'm so anxious that people are going to think I'm a fraud that I'm going to have to sit down with you on a day-by-day basis and tell you where to buy, where to sell, put a stop loss, take a profit target, run up a live account, win Robin's Cup, break Olympic records, do backflips off of things in the beach, okay? Sit in there and talk about stupid shit in videos, then don't prove anything else. That's what everybody else does. You want me to do all these things every time I do something new, or in addition to what I was ever willing to do. It's never going to be enough. But I'm telling you, I'm never going to put you in trades. That's not going to happen. One, because I just ain't going to do it. Because if I did that, everybody would be out there running services and just doing what I'm doing. And they would make lots of money. And that would get on my fucking nerves. Okay. I wouldn't do it. I will not do that. Now, I've also told this to my students that are running signal services and or planning to do so, that if they have a large group, they're going to have that same thing. People are going to come in, they're going to rip them off and copy their trades and such. And there's no way around it. So to avoid that shit, because it would get on my nerves, I avoid doing it, number one. Two, I keep that market there for my students, because there's a lot of people out there that are never going to learn how to do this. They're going to watch me teach this stuff for free and prove that it works. And they're still going to bitch and complain to me. Oh, I just can't make this work. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm still confused. But you said this in this other video, forgetting everything I just said about that very morning, what we're looking at. They're talking about gold. Who the fuck said anything about gold today? Nobody mentioned gold. I didn't talk about gold. No mention of gold. Why are you asking me about gold? I don't give a fuck about gold. Gold sucks. I don't like gold. Okay? There it is. It's just like crypto to me. Okay? I don't want to trade it. If I talk about a specific market, why the hell are you going to ask me about something else? I'm not going to divert my attention to something else. That's another reason why it was too much for me in 2016 when I was doing, I think it was 835 people joined my very first mentorship. And I did, I think it was GoToWebinar. I think it was GoTo. I don't know what's exactly, because we went through several of them, but we'll just say it was GoToWebinar. But it was a live webinar service that I had everybody in the room at one time, and they all could question. What the fuck was I thinking there? Let me tell you something. I don't give a shit how good you are. When you have 800 people asking you something, and you're trying to do the best to make them feel like, you care about their question, you want to give them the response. Holy shit. I couldn't concentrate. I have a hard time focusing anyway. But bottom line is this: if you have 800 people in there and they're questioning you, all different shit. And it was the same way then. I have a Eurodollar chart in front of me, and they're fucking asking me about dollar yen, and I hate fucking dollar yen. And you're ignoring my question, ICT. I'm paying you. You should be answer my questions. And I'm thinking to myself, shit. I gotta answer this person. They're right. I mean, they're asking me a question, but they're wrong because they're not following along in the presentation. And the whole time, price is moving around. I'm second guessing what I'm doing. I can't concentrate. So I've learned not to do that shit. I just take what I'm willing to put it out there in the public, and then you just chew on it. If I'm wrong, I'm okay with being wrong. But I'm not questioning what the fuck I'm doing at the time. I'm not fielding everybody's question. That's why if you look at when I post something, just for entertainment value, read the people that respond to it. Look at them. It's like, are you even paying attention? Are you paying attention? Because I'm taking all of everyone's attention into one focal point, one particular market, one time frame, one chart, one structure, one framework. There it is. And you're still going to get 2 fucking views. The people that don't know what the fuck they're doing, ain't paying attention, don't give a shit about what I'm doing. They want to make their system work. That's what it is. They're coming here and they want to see something that they're doing in their chart with their fucking indicators, with their stupid shit that they learned from somebody's fucking bullshit book on Amazon. And they're coming here and they're trying to say, okay, ICT seems to be right a lot. So if he gives me like a thumbs up or if he likes my post, that's like the the little nudge for my trade in my system. So I can come back and say, yeah, I was in this trade. I didn't use your system, but I took the trade. I've seen so many of that shit too. Like listen, if you came here to learn. That's it. If you came here to size up with me, bring your fucking shit. Let's go. I ain't fucking waiting around no more. There's 2 dicks out there running around saying they could beat my ass in trading. Fucker! Motherfucker! I am right fucking here! Why the fuck am I still waiting on you, bitch? How many fucking weeks and months do I gotta fucking wait around? I'm in amp, motherfucker! Let's go! Sitting around fucking making stupid ass fucking motherfucker. Man, you better bring your fucking shit, because I'm gonna tell you right now, at the end of the year, if you don't fucking step to me, bitch, I'm gonna open up a can of fucking whoop ass on your ass. You will not be fucking looked at as anything but a fucking clown the rest of your fucking life. Motherfucker. No, I am not everybody's fucking choice mentor. I am not fucking balanced. I don't give a fuck who likes my fucking ass. But come into my fucking house. Come into my motherfucking house. Say I can't fucking do something, bitch. 10 times what I can do, 50. I'll do 50 times what you fucking do. And I start with 1/4 of the fucking equity you start with, you fucking asshole. See, I have to get out of the fucking house to do these types of things. My wife will be like, what the hell's going on with you? I gotta let it out. I gotta let it out, folks. It's fucking almost end of July. Somebody out there was supposed to be beating my motherfucking ass in the markets. And why the fuck am I still fucking waiting? I fucking told all of you, these fucking assholes will never fucking stop. They'll never fucking stop. Not one of them. But I'm the fucking fraud? Fuck you. Compound that I'm a fucking fraud, motherfuckers. I keep laying this shit down. Keep laying it down, laying it down, laying it down. But why you respond to that, Michael? You have all these supporters. The supporters, you've already convinced. I don't need to talk about that. You know it. But I already warned you. I have OCD. I'm obsessive. My eye is going to go to the nail. And where they raise their head up, that's the one I'm hitting. Because these people don't make money. These people have insecurity issues. Now, I might seem a little unhinged at times, like just a moment ago, but I can assure you I'm very lucid as to what I'm going to be doing in the marketplace. And I don't care who believes me. I want these doubting Thomases to come here. They think they have a bigger dick, because I will remove it publicly and feed it to their fucking ass. I'm tired. I'm fucking tired of everybody sitting on the sidelines talking their shit and getting away with it. No, you're not getting away with shit no more. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. That time is gone and past. See, you're going to have this problem. If you get out here in the public, especially the way today's society is, they're so toxic. They're so fucking toxic. And they're so about me, 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 me. Make it about me. They're a victim, or they should have been considered over someone else. Yeah, I'm not going to convince everybody. I'm aware of that. You know, some of you probably like turned the shit off by now. I don't care. I don't give a fuck if all of you unfollow me. I don't care if you ever watch my videos. I don't care. I don't care. because none of this stuff is going to affect how I live. That's already been established before I even did mentorships, period. So when you open yourself up, I mean, there's some people out there that are very, very stronger. I guess no, I'll say it like this. There are folks out there that are more psychologically stable to endure things that would be, if in other words, if you had the position I'm in right now, and others would say the shit that they said about me, about you, it'd be easy for most of you to be like, well, I'm not going to give it any energy. I can't do that. And when you guys try to mother me and say, oh, ICT, don't, that pisses me off. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that to me, because I know you mean well, but the only thing I see is someone trying to tell me what the fuck to do. And I don't like that. I don't like it. So when you come to this Twitter or you come to my YouTube channel, it's a one-way street. Now, that street might end with a losing position for me. And I don't want any of you to suffer that. So understand that I'm not trying to get you into trades, because invariably, if I keep doing this, I'm going to have a losing trade. And then unfortunately, that's going to be the one where that guy sits around, he watches me do all this stuff, calling all kinds of different moves and points where the market's going to go. And then finally, he has the cojones to get in on one setup. And he's thinking, well, I got this funded account and I got to get this much money to be able to pass it. And I only got 3 days left. Fuck it, I'm going all in. And that's the day I get a losing trade. Now, forget the 50 fucking times before I was right. But this one episode, this one instance, okay, this moment where they plunged and did something and took initiative, but they over leveraged and they did things that they shouldn't have done, they lose. Who's getting the fault for that? Them? Fuck no. I am. I'm the one. I'm the asshole. When I had no idea they were even pushing the button. Nobody's going to take the ownership of that. They're always going to heap it on me. I'm aware of that. But when you take the focus away from the things I'm pointing to, if I'm saying, look at this market here, look at this time frame, this is the framework, this is the thing that you need to be watching right now. Think about it, folks. These are questions all of you have asked for years. ICT doesn't do anything. He doesn't use his tools in front of you. I'm putting you in front of the chart. I'm putting you in a position where you can see it. Before it unfolds, watch, study it. Because if you haven't been keyed up on that chart this morning, you would have looked at it in hindsight and said, oh, well, I can see it now. But I'm showing it to you before it happens. Now, that second fair value gap, I took a screenshot of me actually going in where it shows the little order confirming that 10 short were placed. You'll see that tonight in the review. That's it. The only trade. I didn't do any kind of pyramiding or anything like that. I did partials along the way, where the chart says. That's what I did. Now, was it a lot? No. Was it a setup that was bread and butter? Yeah. It required a second fair value gap. That's what I waited for. Now, I could have went short a minute or two after I sent that tweet. I could have done that, but I waited. What was I waiting for? Exactly what I teach you. That second fair value gap that I put additional tweets on, that's the one, that's the setup where we had that swing low that actually broke that. That's the one I worked with. And I had to allow for the revisit to that higher fair value gap. So when I put the trade on, I had to favor the lower end of the price being delivered to that discount fair value gap, but allow for the stop to potentially, well, not potentially, but be above the first fair value gap. So there's a little bit more risk there because we were going into the 9:30 opening. There was a lot of uncertainty, no news, but it was standard price delivered today. This wasn't like economic news coming out and sending it everywhere. But if you look at the 5-minute chart and 15-minute chart, zoom out before I show you tonight in the review. If you look at it, you'll see that we ran up into a fair value gap. So we were pushed up into a premium overnight until this morning. So when we had that little short-term shift in market structure that I didn't draw attention to, but your eye should see it. When I sent that chart to Twitter, your eye should already say, okay, he sees the fair value gap. So where was the shift in market structure? Oh, there's that swing low. Yeah, there was displacement. Yeah, the trade back up into the fair value gap. Okay, boom. But you're not going to learn this, folks, if you're trying to give me something else to look at when I'm taking your attention to what I'm worrying about. What am I looking at? What's my concern in the marketplace? Where am I expecting price to go? What market? What time frame? That's framework. That is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Like, I would love to have had this been given to me coming up. I would have loved it. I would have learned so much because I'm taking you to the chart where that framework is going to provide a setup. Was the setup right then and there? No. But you have to study it and watch it with these levels in mind, that logic below the marketplace. And when you have that, it feels better when you're watching price. You don't even have to put a demo trade on. Just watching it, you'll feel encouraged because it starts delivering closer and closer to those levels. And it creates a little smaller imbalance and comes back and rebalances that, then comes and goes once more time lower and keeps digging in, digging in, digging in. And then when the market opens up at 9:30, it starts bang. It runs right to the levels we're looking for. Isn't that not what I talk about in that 2022 free mentorship on my YouTube channel? That's exactly what I'm teaching you. How many times do you got to see this stuff to have any faith in it? Apparently, nobody is going to be able to do enough for some of you. And that's not my audience. There are people that I absolutely mute. I might not block you, but I mute people sometimes when I have an inclination that they're probably really not trying hard. They're just there to wait for the setup, wait for me pointing to the obvious type thing. You're going to get fucking frustrated with that because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to lay a cookie in your hand so that way you get comfortable with me giving you the trade setup. No, I'm doing far more than will be reasonable for someone to still be able to learn. You're learning to trust this because I'm taking you into a small little section of price action. Okay, small little section of price where the logic that I'm teaching you should materialize. I'm not looking at any chart patterns before this little area in that chart that I tweeted. That little 5-minute framework, that's what I was focusing on. That little piece, nothing before it didn't have any impact on what I was trying to show you. Nothing. What you had in that chart was all you needed. When I used to do what do you see on Twitter, last time I was on Twitter, I would take everybody to a specific fractal in price. I'd say, what do you see? And so many times, people would come in here, it's not enough information in the chart. Bullshit. You haven't studied enough. That's what that is. That's what you're showing me. You don't know what I'm teaching. You haven't been learning. You haven't been studying because if you have, you know enough to know what this chart's likely to do next. So when I see people that have sincere, genuine questions about the things I'm posting, I'm either going to reply to them, don't expect it to, but I'll reply to them on their tweet, or I'll bring it up in the review or a video in passing. I'm not going to say, this person asked me, I'm just going to have it in my notes. Talk about this, talk about this, talk about this. So there's a lot of folks out there that are not equipped to do this, folks. And you might be one of them. You may be struggling with not being able to do it. You can't bring yourself to study. You can't bring yourself to back test. You can't go back and look. And what is back testing? Just going back and looking at old moves and breaking them down, how I teach you. See, you hear all these people talk about how hindsight, that's bullshit. ICT is just hindsight. Well, first of all, everybody that ever learned anything learns from hindsight. When you go to get surgery, the guys that were cutting on you, or the ladies cutting on you, you know how they learned? Old shit, old case studies. And they cut on dead bodies too, cadavers. So are you going to say that that wasn't enough education for them? Now, maybe you're not the one that wants to raise a hand for their first live surgery, but you're never going to know that. But everybody learns from hindsight. And what I'm doing is I'm doing you the greatest service a mentor could ever do. Number one, I'm not taking any money from you. How about that? How about the fact that I could be making millions of dollars doing this shit, and I still got to get grief from these fucking assholes? Listen, I'm never going to win with them. I know, but don't mother me when I'm reaching out to them and responding and slapping them around, because I got to get it off my chest. Because if I don't get it off my chest, it's going to manifest itself some way, shape, or form in my home. And I don't want that. So I discharge it publicly. Twitter is my therapy session. I get all my ego aspects out there. That's what I do. I manage myself there. When I didn't have Twitter, what was I doing? I was talking to my kids, my oldest boys, telling them this is what it is and talking to them the way I talk to you here. No, I'm not the Christian guy that refrains from bad words. I can't control myself sometimes, folks, and I've already been open about that. And please don't send me emails and scriptures about, oh, well, if you had the Holy Spirit, you wouldn't do this and do that. Listen, I am a man. I sin. Okay? I sin. Until I die and leave this body, I'm a sinner. And I repent for it every single time. So please don't send me that stuff either. I know. Every time I do one of these things, I go in with the intention of not going off rails, but I do, which is the reason why I don't want to do live streams, because I'm going to go off the rails and my ego will really shine there, because I'll be doing all kinds of stupid shit. So I have to keep myself on a leash. And this isn't the best type of leash, but it is really me. This is the real me. This is how I am. That means sometimes in the same conversation, you'll get Dr. Jekyll, and other times you'll get Mr. Hyde. And I wrestle with it. And when people make snide remarks or they make bullshit up about me, I go after that. I go after that type of stuff, because all of it's bullshit. It's all fake. And I can prove this stuff. And I've already said this before. If they ever wanted to do an investigation with me, come on, bring me your fucking computer. Let me pick up my charts and I'll do this shit right in front of you. And I'm proving it in front of all you now. I'm calling it. I'm doing it. I'm executing. There it is. How much more do you need to see? You want me to help you run your account up. That's the problem. That's your perspective. That's your view. That's not reality. The reality is you need to understand that there's things that you're going to have to learn to trust, because you put your ass in front of the chart. You did that. You stayed there. You watched price deliver. You watched how price meandered around and moved a little bit away from where you thought it was going to go to next to the next two candles, but still delivers what you thought was going to happen, or where I'm pointing to. That's a struggle that you have to go through. Everybody does. And when I first started learning how to trade, it was very, very difficult for me to sit still and let these candlesticks paint. Like, it was, well, I didn't use candlesticks when I first started doing it, open, high, low, close bars, but it was very hard to submit to that. I know it needs to likely go to a specific price level for me to get out or move my stop if I was using one back then. But to submit to, all the times it sits still, moves back a couple points, and then goes in your favor, and then quickly comes back against you, but not against you in your position, but the new equity high in that trade, it eats away a little bit, and you think yourself, oh, it's reversing. That's stuff that you have to sit in front of the chart and endure. Like, you have to do that, folks. I can't make that easy for you. And if I sit down and point at every single candle, every single time it fluctuates, you know what you're going to take away from that experience? ICT walked me through that. I didn't see it for myself. Where you have to see it, feel the internal wrestling match. Okay, this feels like it's reversing, but I'm going to stick with the idea that it's going to go to this level. And then when it does, you know how that feels? Some of you don't know what it feels like. Some of you get on there and you lie and you say, oh, I had the same trade, but you're not showing me that you took the same trade. So those comments, I really don't appreciate them. I don't like them, because if I was a follower, okay, say I was subscribed to ICT as a separate person, I'm not me, I'm somebody else, and I'm following ICT on Twitter, and I see a lot of folks come back and say, oh, I had the same trade as you, but they didn't post anything. They don't have an entry in their chart with the stop loss. You know what I'm going to think? This person's full of shit, or this is ICT making up accounts, because he can't possibly have 19, 20, 50 different accounts where he's doing all these account entries and showing examples. That's what I would think. So in some respects, the trolls have a valid point in certain points, but you can't say I don't know how to trade, and you can't say the concepts don't work, and you can't say that I don't have profitable students, because all those boxes have been checked very, very, very clearly in front of everyone. So there's two sides, two views of a framework that I outline. I'm also doing this on the fly, folks. Sometimes, like this morning, I'm not going to be in front of Twitter. I'm not going to be in front of my charts. That's why I was doing everything from my phone. I'm walking around my kitchen. I'm trying to get breakfast made for myself. Okay. I'm trying to feed my two boxers. I'm trying to do all these other things because the economic counter wasn't all that exciting to me. So I was just doing my normal stuff. But I saw something, and as I'm doing other things in the kitchen, I'm one thumb in it, trying to get that chart together and wrestling with it because it kept dropping the fucking line on the wrong candle end. It was pissing me off. But finally, I got it all squared away, and I threw it up on the Twitter, and there it is. So when you see tweets like that, and if there is not a price level, okay, if there's not a price level above market price, how the fuck can you say that I'm calling it higher? I'm not calling it higher. I'm not calling that higher. Everything in that chart was below market price. There was not one level hint of that. I did not say anything buy side, nothing. The chart was saying everything. If it wasn't important, I wouldn't have scrolled back far enough to show you the low of the day, where the fair value gap was in relationship to equilibrium, and draw out the fucking fair value gap and put a little dollar sign. This is where it's going to draw to. That's what I felt was likely for the morning session. But like a pack of ravenous wolves, I think that, everybody tore into that trade. Maybe chased it. Who knows? But you watched it unfold. And that's a bread and butter setup. That's not a barn burner. That's not like a big move. But that's the kind of stuff that when I refer to a bread and butter setup, what is a bread and butter setup? It's a setup where they repeat almost daily. You will get one in either the morning session or the afternoon session. But rarely will you get them, same direction, both morning and afternoon session when there's no real economic data on the calendar. So when I said standard delivery today, that's more or less look for one good setup in the session. That's it. Don't try to milk it. Don't try to go crazy. Don't go in there and try to pyramid anything, because that's probably not going to pan out for you. So bread and butter is get in there, get something small, and be content with it, and move to the sidelines, and don't go crazy about it. Was I able to capture that full morning move? I already said no. You saw where my limit order was, the last single filled on limit, and that was it. The closure of that fair value gap, that was all I was anticipating for this morning. But if you look at it, what happened was it went back up to that area where I showed the partial, the first partial to be taken, that fair value gap. Look what it did. Went right back up to it, like precision, ICT precision. Swiss precision ain't got shit on ICT. Okay, I need to start my own watch collection. ICT timepieces. Oh, he's so arrogant. So anyway, but look at your chart on that 5 minute, and you'll see that the market went back up when NASDAQ made a lower low and ran out previous day's low and all that. S&P was still meandering around. It went up to that fair value gap where the first partial was annotated in the chart that I tweeted. It went right back up to that to do what? Offer what? An algorithmic short. Didn't notice that? Go back and look at your chart. Your jaw's going to drop. Then it went lower. See that? Where'd it go? To the relative equal lows. Look at the 5 minute chart. It's there. So when I'm suggesting to you as the viewer or the student, if it's above the marketplace, you should know that I'm tipping my hand to you. I'm showing you my hand. If we're in poker, okay, and we're playing cards, you are a Confederate. You're part of it. Okay. You're with it with me. Okay. I'm showing you my cards. No, I'm not showing you how I'm going to play those cards, but the students of mine know what I would be utilizing. You don't know if I'm going to use a breaker. You don't know if I'm going to use a fair value gap. You don't know if I'm going to use institutional. Oh, we're not going to talk about that. See, that's another reason I don't like to do live streams because I'm going to cross things I don't want to talk about publicly that paid members paid for. And you shouldn't be upset about that because I've already given a lot already. And I'm working with the same model I've taught since, well, in February, the 2022 free mentorship. This pattern, folks, I'm telling you, if you haven't warmed up to the idea how this thing works and how often it completely just delivers beautifully over and over and over again in all different asset classes too. But I try to push you hard with index futures and Forex to study those. You don't need anything else. You don't need to subscribe to other people's courses or mentorships, okay? Because I'm going to tell you right now, you know what they're going to do? They're going to reinvent what I've been teaching. And they can't do what I'm doing, period. If they could, they hear me because they're listening. Come to my fucking Twitter account and call the market before it happens, and I'll do the same thing, and I'll blow their fucking doors off your ass, okay? And nobody will subscribe to your ass then, and I'll gain your followers too. And I'll still be doing it for free. See, I'm like I said, I've said this before, I'm fucking bulletproof. None of you guys can do shit to me because I can trade. I can stand in a courtroom and do this. I can do it with a live account. I can do it with a demo and it doesn't hurt my feelings. It doesn't make me feel less of a trader. I don't feel like I'm not good as a mentor because I'm being responsible as a mentor. There's lots of trade setups that's going to form that I'm not going to be participating in, but I can still engage them and show you that this is what it does. I'm looking for my own setups. This morning, that may have been your setup. But because I didn't do a live trade in it, but I did execute with a demo, don't look at that and say, well, you know, ICT didn't take that with a live account. So I probably shouldn't use this as my model. No, don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Because if you saw this forming before I even put my tweet out, you have found your model. That's the one you lock onto. Fuck what ICT says. You found it. You know what the fuck you're looking for now. Don't let anybody, especially me, because I'm not trying to discourage anybody. Once you find your own niche in this, that's it. Don't let me change it. Don't let me influence any of that. Because once you find that one, that's what everybody's looking for. That one thing, that model, that approach, the way the chart looks, the time frame that you're looking for it to form in, the logic behind all that shit. Once you have that, stop looking. Stop trying to tinker with it. Stop fucking around with it. It works. Just look for it to continuously deliver. And you're going to have losing trades with that. Some of my better models still have losing trades, folks. There's no perfect trading. There isn't. It doesn't exist. But if you have something that you see based on what you learned, don't change it. Don't look for me to add more spice to it. You don't need to kick it up a notch. You want it to be simple, easy, that is so obvious in the chart that your eye goes right to it. Don't let me fuck that up for you because I don't know that you're doing it. So it's not intentional if it happens, but just know this. If you have something that's in your trading that you've been doing and it's working, don't tinker around with it. Don't mess with it. Don't try to add more to it. Just work with it because experience will guide you and tell you what you should be doing. Because right now, so many of you are just scratching the surface of finding consistency. And as I mentioned before, that's a very dangerous location for a developing student. In trading, you have all these feelings of wanting to go out there and conquer the world and over leverage because you got something that works. And now you're telling yourself, well, you know, I know I'm never going to continuously do over leveraging, but damn it, I got to do it this time because I just want to know what it feels like to make a big trade. And then it kicks you in the ass, and then you feel demoralized. And then you'll second guess the setup again when it forms, and you'll feel like it ain't worth taking it because to use less leverage because now you have drawdown. It feeds on itself. You have scared, fearful money, and that can't make money. So all these things It's a balancing act. I many times use this expression in my private group. It's like plate spinning. You ever seen a plate spinner? They take the little dowel rod up here on the stage and they take a plate and they spin the plate around on top of the dowel. And they got 20, 30, 50 of them all at one time. They had to keep every plate spinning, running around and seeing which one's wobbling and go there and spin it some more. That's what profitable, consistent trading is like. You got to balance all this bullshit. And now, some of you, you want to bring in, look at the shit that I get and look at I give away and look at I've proven and I still catch shit. So you're asking yourself, developing, you want to get out here in the world of social media where all these motherfuckers are miserable cretins. They're this monster fucking shitbaggers. Okay. They literally hate their fucking life. They live to go on social media to piss on everybody else. That's what makes them feel good. Some of you guys want that so bad and you're not ready for it. You're not ready for it. Okay. You're not, because that's a drain. It's a drain on your attention. It's a drain on your focus. And you don't need that in your early development. And honestly, nobody really needs it at all. It's toxic as shit. So you got to ask yourself, why are you here? Are you here waiting for me to make a mistake so you can say, hi, you're a fucking clown. See, you're a fool, and ignore everything else I've been doing all year long? Because that's what I'm going to say if you do it. And it'll be crickets. I'm going to lose. It'll happen. But what are you doing with the information I'm giving you right now? Are you here to try to learn? Because if you're here to try to learn, I promise you, I'm here to help you do that. I'm here to fucking help you do that. I literally walk around wanting more people to say, you know what? I'm making a change. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some effort. And nobody else fucking believes in this at all. And I'm still going to dig into this. That's my audience. That's my audience. Not the people that are on the fence, the wishy-washy. Well, he's got something to prove to me. I ain't got a fucking thing to prove to you. I don't owe you shit. I don't owe any of you any fucking thing. Nothing. I'm sitting here spending my personal time talking to people that I don't even know fuck who you are. I don't know you. I'm never going to meet you. I don't owe you shit. I love sharing, but I can't stand these entitlement motherfuckers that come to my fucking social media or they email me or they leave comments on my YouTube channel with this level of entitlement. Like I owe you more. Fuck, I owe you nothing. I owe you nothing. You owe me something, bitch. There you go. You owe me something. Fucking respect. And if I don't get it, fuck off. I don't need you. I don't want you to fucking be a part of my mentorship group. I don't need you to be watching my fucking videos. I don't care about your opinion. Okay? But I'm here for the fucking smoke. I'm here for it. They said I was going to get ran off of Twitter in a week. Tom Dante, you motherfucker. Bring your bitch ass over here. You can't trade. Period. Prove me wrong. Oh shit, he went there. Yeah, I did. I did. Told ya, I got a list. I got a fucking list. In 2022, I told you the second half of this year, it's going to be fun. And I'm going to offend a whole lot of you. I don't give a shit. I got a chip on my shoulder. And I'm smoothing it out in public. So let's see. Going forward, you're either going to look at what I'm teaching you and use it, or you're not. If you're profitable, you know how to trade already, and you're just in here for curiosity's sake and just fun, okay, that's cool. I get it. I do the same thing. I look at people on YouTube. I see what they're doing. They say they're making money. They show MT4 statements and shit. I don't have any faith in all that. Once, Adam Webb revealed that people can go in there and mess around with the MT4. That's why I left it. I was like, fuck that. Nobody's going to be able to say that about me. And they still did. They still do. I don't even use MT4. And now do you explain everybody that's using what I taught? And they're doing it with TradingView, and they're doing it with NinjaTrader, IC Markets, Oanda, AMP. See, at some point, you're going to have to call bullshit on the bullshit. And that's what I sat down with last year. I said, how do I go out here and bring everybody's attention to the truth and not offend everyone? Because I have a paid group, obviously. And Believe me, they're fearful that I'm going to go out here and just start going nuts with teaching everything they've been taught. Have I? No. I've done enough where if you were in mentorship, this is a model that you would have come to if you just did what I told you to do. This fair value gap, I'm going to tell you this also because there's a lot of people that are still trying to buy my videos on the pirate. I promise you, folks, I swear to God Almighty, if you buy this stuff from other people, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. Do a chargeback right now if you did it. Do a claim against the fucking shit. Get your money back, okay? Because I promise you, what I teach the rest of this year, just with the model you've been taught, it's more clear, more to the point than anything I've done in the private group. The private group was me giving them overload of everything. I dumped everything in them, and they still had to come up with their own model. That's why a lot of people bitch. Oh, there is no method. There's a method there, but you have to put the things together like I told you. I gave you instructions how to do it. And to prove that it works, because I had two people in the beginning of the year said, oh, this shit doesn't work. I want my money back. I said, prove to me that doesn't work. Because I'm going to go out on the internet and prove it with a live account. And I'm also going to have people that are strangers doing it right from the YouTube channel, and they're proving it's profitable. So they've been canceled too. My mentorship group, don't ask me to join because you can't. Okay? Believe me, if I was broke, I know I would be making millions of dollars again every single month. I don't need to do that. It's not arrogance, it's the fucking facts. I don't need your fucking money. I don't need any more money. I got more money than I'm ever gonna fucking need the rest of my life. Okay? There's my net worth answer for y'all. People out there pretending I'm fucking broke. I downsize. I live like this because I don't want to be among the rich where they're gonna go after these motherfuckers. I'm living amongst the average person. And everybody here knows where my address is. Guess what? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I ain't scared because you know where I live at. You just know where one residence is. If she gets deep, I won't be in that house. I'll be in something else that I'm not going to talk about. But I'm living among the average people now for a reason because they're going to eat the rich. And I don't want to be amongst that. I want to be a gray man. But wanting to join my private mentorship group or buying Instagram guys that are selling videos, 90% of these guys, they bought somebody else's copies and somebody else's copies and somebody else's copies. And the only thing you're going to get from them is a video that was talking about something at that time that it isn't going to help you. It was only beneficial to people. Like, for instance, when you watched me do that tweet this morning and I outlined the framework, can you use that right now? Fuck no, you can't use it right now. But see, I understand where you are mentally and psychologically about wanting to learn. Okay? Listen very carefully. Do not buy videos from anyone. I promise you, you will not learn it that way. Because I sat down, and I got on people's nerves in the mentorship because I would talk like this in the lessons. They're like, "Oh, could you just not do that?" Fuck you. Fuck you. Don't tell me what to do. This is my fucking house. I'm going to teach the way I'm going to teach. I'm going to repeat as much as I fucking want to repeat on what I want to repeat, period. Don't tell me. Don't come to fucking me tell me how I'm going to fucking teach my shit. You don't want to learn it? Get the fuck out of here. They didn't want that shit in the videos because they can't edit it out. They can't edit it. They want to be able to just sell the videos as they are because I made hundreds and hundreds of them. And it's going to be in a video where it says this shit is only going to work for you right now. And I taught that way. It had an expiration on it. What's that mean? That the logic that I was teaching in those individual lessons, you had to be with me right then and there. If you weren't, you can't get anything out of it. Ingenious, isn't it? Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Always so fucking arrogant. No, not all the time, but I am being honest. So don't waste your money, okay? Believe me, don't waste your fucking money. What you're getting on YouTube and the things I'm sharing on Twitter are more right to the point than anything I've done in my private group, period. My private group has every fucking tool they would ever need, but they still have to come up with a way where they're going to bring it together for themselves. And some of you might be thinking, man, I'm glad I didn't buy that. Good. That's how you should feel about it. But the students I have in here that are lazy that paid me, and I have them, they literally did not do the things I told them to do. They'll swear up and down, oh, I did this, I did that, I studied, I back tested, but you didn't put the work into building the model of your own. Like, what did I do with this model on YouTube? Made it simple, which is what I told everybody in mentorship to do. Pick one PD array. What's a PD array? It's a premium discount array. That means wherever the market price is, above it, they're premiums, and below it's a discount. What is a PD array specifically? Order block, a breaker, fair value gap. There are just three. There's other ones, but predominantly that's it. You only need one PD array to make your model. If you take the fair value gap out, take that out of the 2022 mentorship and replace it with my bearish breaker or bullish breaker, you have a model. Everything, all things being equal, exactly the way I taught it, change fair value gap to breaker. Now you have another model. Teach me another model, ICT. I just fucking did, just like that. But it doesn't feel like a model for someone that's new, that haven't spent any time with me, have looked at price action, studied how price delivers on these sessions in the morning, in the afternoon, how they work with the weekly range. It's going to feel alien to them. It's going to feel like it's incomplete. Oh, ICT's holding something back. That motherfucker, he's so arrogant. He holds it back. He loves to hold it and dangle it in front of you. When I see that shit, these are people that are clowns, okay? They have never really done the work, and they're the ones that want me to spoon feed them, and I'm not going to fucking do it. And you shouldn't want me to. Look at how much growth these people, I don't even train, in my private group. These are people that just simply go onto the YouTube channel. And they're sharing shit in their own tweets before I even do anything with it. They're sharing it. They're putting in the trades. They're explaining in detail what they're expecting. And man, let me tell you something. I ain't got no fucking shame telling you this. I have a mentorship group with a shit ton of people in it. I have better feedback on Twitter and in my comment section on YouTube than I have in my private mentorship group. So why the fuck are you worrying about jumping in that? Don't think that you got to do that. You are being mentored right now for free. I'm still talking to you right here. No money and no ads. No ad revenue, no nothing. I'm here because I give a fuck. I care. I want you to succeed because I get off on it. I walk around like a fucking peacock when I see people proving that they're taking home real money. Not the demo account. I like that. But when they finally get to that stage where they're really taking money and it's going into their bank account and they're making ends meet, fucking right, that fucking feels good. That feels amazing. When I share that with my wife, she's like, wow. It makes you wonder what they're thinking, like if they didn't do this. That's exactly right. That's what I'm thinking. Like, you don't even know what you're capable of yet. For those of you who are sitting on the fence or you just found me, what's this guy all about? Man, I'm about winning and I'm about sharing that skill set. That's what I'm about. And I'm about to go get lunch. So we're going to close this one here because I've been going for a long time. My Highlander actually turned itself off. I've been sitting here too long. Maybe that's a sign. Wrap it up, bitch. You're talking too much. But anyway, in short, in closing, there's one framework that I provide. That means it's one setup, one bias, one way. Okay. If I call a level above the market price and I say buy side, referencing that at all, then you concern yourself with something going higher. There was nothing mentioned at all, not one fucking thing up above the market price. Everything was below. And I've already taught you that we use fair value gaps because we're not supply and demand. Okay. We're not supply and demand. We're not looking at dumb shit that makes no sense. We use the things that I teach you that the algorithm is going to refer back to. Don't believe me? Look at your 5-minute chart and look at the very first fair value gap below market price where I had it annotated partial here. When it went below it, where did it go back up to? That very fucking level. Did it go past it? No, went right into it because the algorithm sees that. It refers back to it. Now you're going to tell me Elliott Wave, Gann, harmonic, this and that, supply and demand, Dow theory, Wyckoff, all of them, all of those types of styles of trading, they took a back seat to the precision that I'm teaching you. Well, apparently, because they can't keep up. Until next time, be safe.